All right, eighth grade. Here is lesson 20 using data from graphs. All right, eighth grade. This is lesson 21 using data from graphs. We have some vocabulary to think about. We have bar graphs, a graph that compares quantities by using bars of different lengths. Axis, a number line along which the measurement information is arranged. A bar graph usually has a vertical axis and a horizontal axis. And a circle graph, a graph that compares quantities by showing what part of the whole each quantity represents. Reminder, in a graph, it is important to include labels so that the graph can be read. So we have this information over here. It says a bar graph compares data by using bars of different lengths to represent the data. This graph shows the number of t-shirts sold at Amy's Shirts last week, grouped by color. Notice that the vertical axis or number line is labeled from 0 to 240 to show the number of t-shirts sold. The horizontal axis is labeled to show the different colors of the t-shirts sold. Now, this is usually called the y-axis. This is usually called the x-axis. So now, it says Amy sells white t-shirts for $5 and each color t-shirt for $7. How much money did she receive for selling the white t-shirts last week? Well, when you look at your graph, the white t-shirt bar goes up to here and you cut across, and that is about halfway between 240 and 220. So it's at 230. So it says to solve this problem, find the number of white t-shirts sold. You can find out by looking at the bar labeled white. Find the top of the bar and read across to the vertical axis. The bar ends just halfway between 220 and 240. So Amy sold 230 white t-shirts. The problem states that she sold them for $5. So you take 230 times $5 and you get $1,150. So Amy earned $1,550 from selling white t-shirts last week. Another kind of graph is called a circle graph. It shows how quantities relate to a whole. This circle graph shows a breakdown of the monthly expenses of wear a t-shirt company. The size of each section of the graph reflects how large a part of the budget goes for that expense. For example, 30% of the budget is for payroll. That section of the circle is 30% of the whole graph. So it says, suppose the monthly budget is $38,000. How much money a month will be used for payroll? Well, if you look over here, payroll is at 30%. So on our thing, we take 38,000 times 0.3 or, whoops, or 38,000 times 30%, depending on if you have a percent key or not. And when you do that problem, you get 11,400, and that is in dollars. So $11,400 is spent in the monthly budget. Now, when you come down here on exercises, it says use the bar graph in the lesson to solve. This is on page 42 is the graph. So it says, how many more black shirts than gray shirts did Amy sell last week? Pretty easy problem. Look at the graph, answer it. It says, suppose Amy reduces the price of colored t-shirts to $4. If she sells the same number of blue shirts next week, how much will she make on blue shirts next week? You got to write down the problem and solve it. I think you guys can do that with no problem. Down below it says, use the circle graph in this lesson to solve. Remember that the company's total monthly budget is $38,000. How much money does the company spend on advertising each month? So you know their budget is $38,000, and then you have to multiply it by whatever percent it is for advertising, and then you get an answer in dollars. Now it says, What is the combined percentage? So your answer is going to be in a percentage of the company's budget that is spent on rent and utilities. Now, this is one section, and manufacturing and supplies, and this is a second section. They're together, even though there's ands in between. Now, when you come down here to find a bar graph or a circle graph, most of us don't get newspapers, so I'm just going to X that out. You do not have to do it. When you get the rest of the assignment all done, don't forget to submit to me Canvas. Good luck and have fun.